how do you define the patriarchy, and what do you think it's doing right now?
Well, see, this is where I differ from Andrew. I don't think that there's actually a patriarchy. I think this is essentially a feminist conspiracy theory. That's it. I don't think that there's a patriarchy because I don't view this dynamic of it being men are in positions of power because they're men. I think they're in positions of power probably more so to do with class than anything. So
Thanks for answering.
Yeah, I don't believe that there's a patriarchy.
Okay.
At least, I mean, there's different definitions of it, right? But this idea that men are advantaged, have all this privilege, male privilege, women have no privilege, women are so disadvantaged, all these men are doing fantastic. As a man, you step into a job and you're immediately the CEO. No.
Can I say
and
something?
Maybe that's a straw man. Maybe that's not fair, but
I think the fact that you're missing within that, because what you said is kind of valid, but what you're missing within that is the fact that men are also disadvantaged by the patriarchy.
It's not clear if it's
like, how do you not see
because of
that?
the patriarchy, though.
Yeah, like men that created the patriarchy disadvantaged other men below them. Like, it's a whole class thing too. It's not just.
I don't think I think that it's more of a hierarchy thing than. Well, okay.
Because, for example, super quick example, the patriarchy doesn't like men being really emotional and crying, for example, right?
Neither do women.
No,
Neither do women.
But that stemmed
Women
from...
are repulsed, actually, by it, and you can lie and say, I want a man, let's bring it back to dating, I want a man to be vulnerable in front of me. This is actually just, you might say that, it's the politically correct thing to say, it sounds good to say it, I want a man to be vulnerable, but the reality is you actually don't.
No, what we don't like is when men they weaponize that vulnerability and they'll cry just when it's convenient. Like, for example, you catch them cheating and then they're bawling their eyes out. For example,
not what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the only time when it's relevant.
Men cry when they get caught cheating?
Yeah. But besides that, like, women don't get mad at men's emotional side.
I feel like that's literally the opposite, right? Isn't it usually women who, when they get caught cheating, cry, or women who use crying and emotional manipulation?
GMD Jim donated $200. Holy shite. These spoiled little girls finally have a man pushed back against their bad ideas for once in their life and they melt down. We need a Frank Castle moment. Hello, Peyton. Good to see you.
She's in the bathroom.
She's
in the bathroom.
So to respond to this, though, isn't it usually women who are the ones who cry to get the things that they want? I don't see a lot of men crying to get the things that they want, to be perfectly honest with you. I just don't see it much. Do you see it a lot? Do men year round cry to get stuff?
In college, sadly, that's the new thing I've seen.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200. The patriarchy is in the home, not a class thing. As patriarch, it is my job to lead my family. Failures are mine and mine alone. I am the patriarchy, and you strumpets know nothing of my work.
So to get this right,
you, Grid 1.
The patriarchy oppresses men by telling them not to be in tune with their emotions. And you say, unfortunately, all these men who are in tune with their emotions at my college, they suck.
No.
Did I get that right?
No, you really twisted my words.
Hold on, let me bring it to dating really quick on this whole vulnerability thing. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you prefer a man to approach you in a really confident manner? Like, I don't know if you've been at a party, a lot of you guys don't seem satisfied with dating apps, so maybe you'd prefer a guy to approach you organically, maybe after a class or at a party. Would you prefer a man to approach you confidently or, well, hold on, let me change the framing here. Would you prefer a man to approach you in a really confident way, super confident, or a guy who was like a little bit bashful and shy, his eye contact was a bit shaky, not being creepy, but like uncertain of himself? Which do you prefer?
I feel like that's kind of hard to say, but I don't know.
Is this...
To me, I feel like confidence can come off as cockiness sometimes to me, and I wouldn't
Let's just
want
assume
that.
it's not cockiness. Let's just assume it's confidence.
I kind of think it's cute when they're a little shy. So that's just me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like, where's your curiosity in this? Everyone likes confident people.
You think so?
She just said that she liked shy.
Okay, well then talk to her. That's my answer.
What is your answer? You'd prefer a guy to step to you confident, right?
Yeah, but again, it's not on the basis of gender.
Okay.
Yeah, confident.
Well, it's not often that women ever do the approaching, so men don't really have the opportunity to give an analysis of if they prefer confident women or shy women. But which do you prefer?
Confident.
You prefer a guy to be confident?
Confident.
Confident?
Confident.
Confident?
Shy.
Okay, what about you?
Confident.
Okay. I would argue the vast majority of women would prefer a man to step to them in a confident manner instead of a sort of bashful, can't even hold eye contact, a little shaky, a little nervous.
Brian.
This would be precise. This would be a man being vulnerable to approach you, being scared, nervous, etc. Yet most women do not respond to men being in a vulnerable state of being either scared to approach you, being nervous. Most women, a lot of the women here, prefer a guy to approach you confidently. Therefore, this whole, we like vulnerable men, it's kind of bogus. It's kind of bullshit.
But your example was like the worst you could have possibly.
How is that the worst? That's from the first time
That's the
meeting.
initial encounter.
You're like
Once
totally
you get to know someone, it's
misconstruing.
different.
There's a lot of confidence in vulnerability. You're
have to have
having
confidence
this
in order to
argument
be
that
vulnerable.
vulnerability is innately weak. And sure, there are women that could look at a man and say he's crying. What a less of a man he is.
But I'm not even making that argument. I'm just saying from first approach, the very first opportunity you get to meet a man, he's immediately being vulnerable by not being particularly confident. His eye contact is shaky. He's nervous. Maybe his speech isn't on point. Wouldn't that be a man? Would you agree that that's a man in a vulnerable state?
But why would you have to say
Yeah.
yes to a man just because he's in a vulnerable state? You're
not obliged to.
But
Yeah,
you're
not
putting
obliged
it you're
to-
putting it in the wrong context. Women aren't asking, again, that's vulnerable, but it's also vulnerable for someone to go up to someone confidently and ask for their number or speak to them or whatever it is. You're acting like they exist in different continuums. They're the same thing for women.
You can be a strong-headed person and still be vulnerable. Like the two aren't different is our point. And
Well,
I
the
think
differential here, yeah.
I think you see vulnerability as like a weakness in someone.
I think women don't want men
Okay.
to be more emotional. I think they want them to like open up more, if that makes sense. So like say what they've gone through or what they're going
That
through.
seems emotional.
Hold on. I
Well,
do got to move things on a little bit. I'm very sorry. We have ACL. Yes, that was the point. It's males. I think this is in response